location. As soon as we get to go, we're gonna start the run.
Okay, I just realized something. What's up, everybody? I'm JaredsGiantz, and I'm gonna be playing Battle for Bikini Bottom right now. You guys were muted the whole time. Alright, let's start the introduction over again. Shift, take it away, brother.
Alright, well, I'm pretty confused, but sure. Alright, I'm Shift, and here we have JaredsGiantz running Battle for Bikini Bottom 100%. JBHJ, you know, the commentating with me here.
Hi, what's up?
I'm JaredsGiantz, and we're off to a great start.
And this is our first time introducing ourselves.
This is our first time speedrunning as well.
Alright.
Today we're going to be attempting to be completing Battle for Bikini Bottom.
We're gonna attempt it.
While raising money for a good cause.
Yeah, so I believe we're good to start. So I'll just make sure.
What's up?
Alright, we should be good to go now. I think we're good.
How do we sound?
You sound good?
Everybody hear everything? Had a little bit of audio trouble, but I think we're good. JB, your mic is a little quiet just on your end. Even if I turn it up, it's still kind of quiet. I don't know if you have anything you can do to raise it. But
yeah, I can fix that. How's it sound?
Yeah, that's better. Alright.
Alright, sounds good.
I think we're all good. As long as we can get a confirmation from chat. And then we'll be ready to start. Comm volume's still a bit low. I'll turn it up a little more. Sorry for the difficulties. We'll be ready to start in a second. Alright. I think we're good. Alright, so I believe we're ready.
We're in need of a major comeback.
We're in need of a major comeback after this horrible start.
It's time to run it back.
Now you might be asking, why didn't we check this beforehand? Well, that's because we're professionals.
Yeah, you know, we do this every day, so...
Yeah, we know a thing or two about commentating and broadcasting.
Alright, let's get it going, boys. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alright,
Good luck.
so Shift, if you want to talk a little bit more about the charity that's going on while I start this.
Sure, yeah, because I think that was the whole confusion with like my microphone being turned off or we weren't starting yet. Alright, so the Hackensack University Medical Center Foundation, 100% of the proceeds are going toward this fund. Every $3 pays for a mask for the healthcare workers, and every $10 pays for an antibody test to help find a treatment for the cure. So every small donation helps, and we've already raised quite a bit of money, so thank you guys for all you contributed so far, and I hope you enjoy the run. Jared here is going to attempt to beat Battle for Bikini Bottom 100%, and with for those of you who don't know how this game plays, there are 100 main collectibles in the game, the golden spatula. So every spatula goes toward 1%, so 100 spatulas is 100%. To collect those 100 spatulas, you have to collect other objectives to trade for them, or some are just laying around that you just collect at the end of levels as rewards. So, in collecting all the collectibles that lead toward the 100 spatulas, we finish the game with 100%. Jared's doing right now is collecting the first spatula after leaving the pineapple. So this is the first spatula that can be subject to routing changes. Obviously, to get out of the pineapple, you have to collect one golden spatula, but once you leave, the game is fair to collect any of the spatulas next in any order, except for obviously the final boss fight. So the spatulas in between, you have to just figure out which ones to collect in the fastest order possible. So it leads to a lot of different routing changes and lots of possibilities. The game has a lot of intense backtracking toward the end because of the menuing abilities, where we can pause the game and warp to any of the levels that we want at any time. So you'll see that we'll complete parts of levels and come back later. As Jared just did there, he left Jellyfish Fields after collecting 1 spatula, and we're going to do the rest of it later.
Ouch. That's a little rough. All right, yeah, this is a fun trick to start off the run, so this might take a little bit, but...
Yeah, Ringo, you want to talk a little bit about this fan favorite trick right here?
Oh, well, basically, it's the coolest thing in the game. You get to go out of bounds, and while simultaneously avoiding being grabbed by the hand, you have to jump underneath the level and evade an invisible wall, pass underneath it, double jump, and then a ledge grab on the other end, like Jared just did there.
Nice job, Jared.
And it's joy-inducing. I love doing it. It makes me want to play the game.
Yeah, and as he jumps out of bounds here, if he stands on the kill sand, which we'll be referring to as the out of bounds sand, which when you stand on it for too long, it kills you. If you stand on that sand for too long being 2 seconds, so not very long at all, actually. That's the reason why he has to keep jumping, because if he lays on the sand for too long, he gets grabbed and he has to go back to the beginning of the game. Now, one of the key things that we haven't discussed yet, the reason why he was able to go out of bounds, is due to a glitch called hand disabling. If you guys have seen the first part of the Battle for Bikini Bottom documentary, you might already know that by laying next to a taxi pad and summoning the hand that takes you out of bounds while getting dragged into a loading screen, when you appear in the next level, the hand has been disabled, so therefore you can go out of bounds without being detected and pulled back in. Obviously on the condition that you don't stay on the kill stand for more than 2 seconds. So because we did that, Jared is able to go out of bounds and skip to the second area of the hub, where he's now completing objectives that you'd normally be able to only collect during the second third of the game. And now Jared's going on to skip to the next part of the game, which after that he will have by then gotten past the first 2/3 of the game in the first 4 minutes of the run. So let's see if you can complete this trick that's called Rollbuck. And
oh, we're good, baby. Are you kidding me?
Nice.
This is easy. Light work. Come on. Did you expect any less, really?
So now that he's in Hub 3, he's going to be able to basically he's opened up all these warps in all 3 areas of the game. So this is going to give him access to basically all the areas of the game.
If you notice, he's right outside the final boss right now, but it's a 100% run. We have to collect all the spatulas to finish the game anyway, so just a little sneak peek at where we'll be going later. And another thing too to mention is that for the casual experience, SpongeBob's Dream is actually the hardest level in the game. It's got a lot of intensive platforming segments, and it's intended to be the final level of the entire game because of that. But in the speedrun, because we're able to complete these levels early with these skips that we've discovered, you can actually do this before any of the other levels. That's why we're here 5 minutes into the game at the final level of the game.
Yeah, the start of this run kind of just throws a lot at you. A lot of stuff is happening that's not supposed to be. Also,
a lot of the things in Dream are extremely fast-paced compared to the rest of the game, with the speedrun strategies in mind, because there's a lot of damage boosts and tricks that allow you to skip a lot of clams and paywalls, and you just kind of get all the objectives like way faster than you would be able to in most of the other main areas of the game.
Yeah, back in the day, doing this as early as we are now would not have been an option, because in this game's beginnings, like Ringo just said, you usually have to pay for these tolls that would allow you to go through and progress through each level. But because we don't have any shiny objects, which are the game's main form of currency, we can't really buy these tolls at this point in the game. So because we have the ability to damage boost and jump these huge gaps and skip all these objectives to collect the spatulas, this allows us to do all these levels earlier without having to go and get more cash and then come back. Which is convenient because we're going to get all of our cash in one stop after the first boss fight. You'll notice that later.
Yeah, you secure one large bag instead of getting money throughout.
Yeah, wasn't always the case, but due to a huge discovery that was made in 2018, we now have the ability to do that, and that trick has redefined the entire 100% run, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, if you notice that Jared took a little detour there to open that cardboard box. Each cardboard box in this game has another one linked to it from which you can jump into one and appear in the other, as long as both are unlocked for most. However, there are some in the game where if you unlock the second one, they sometimes open the first as an accessibility feature that makes it less frustrating to go back and open one of them and then have to open the other if you forgot the one at the beginning of the level. So sometimes if you open the one at the end of the level, it'll let you jump into that one and appear at the beginning without having to open the other. So what Jared just did there was he opened the cardboard box because we're going to come back later and teleport straight to it so we can do the rest of this level when we have more of the money that we were talking about earlier to be able to buy these toll gates, because there is a major toll gate in Sandy's Dream, which is the level we just left, and we can't access it right now because we don't have enough cash. So we're going to do Goo Lagoon first and unlock some of those levels for coming back later. Of course, we're going to destroy Squidward's house first, you know.
Yeah, just destroy all of his belongings and furniture, and he actually rewards us for it, you know. It makes sense.
Yeah, the order that we do these in is actually very specific as well, because you have to save the one piece of furniture left for the end, so when you jump on top of the spatula and hit it at the same time, you collect the spatula during the cutscene, and that allows you to not only collect save time collecting the spatula, but also have it so the sock has appeared right after you finish collecting it, so you can just go and grab it. Just overlapping cutscenes and parts where you can't move saves a little bit of time. And notice that Jared also just collected a sock from Patrick as well, and you'll be seeing we'll be going back there after Goo Lagoon to trade in some socks to Patrick. So every 10 socks can be traded for 1 golden spatula, and you can do this a total of 8 times. So there are 8 golden spatulas you can get from socks, and you can also get 8 golden spatulas from trading shiny objects, the game's main form of currency as well, to Mr. Krabs. So that's a total of 16 spatulas from trading, and those are all accessible from the main hub world. But we'll have all of those done, the Mr. Krabs spatulas, we'll have those done by the time we get to the second boss fight anyway. As you can see here, Jared performing one of the iconic tricks of the game, the sponge glide.
Very
originally found
fast.
in 2014 by a runner, Cole Udd, absolute legend in this community. One of the first runners of the game, found many of the tricks that we still use today.
And the perfect glide just overall right there. That was really good.
Yeah. This trick's gone through a series of improvements over the years. Like we said, Cole found the original sponge glide, but in 2017, a runner by the name of Super Flare Star found a way to get to the island, as you saw there. Jared was able to boost over to the island to destroy the robot on top of it to complete one of the challenges early. But those two things together, Cole's find and Flare Star's find, were what we used for many years until a runner by the name of Rubbertoe64 found a way to slide off the left side of the tower and then boost over straight from the crates to the main island all in one shot instead of having to backtrack. So it was a little bit of a time save, saved like 8 seconds or so. Made the segment a lot cleaner instead of having to go all the way to the second island, boost over to the robots, and then boost back to it. So there have been a lot of slight improvements over the years. It's funny that the sponge glide was actually the optimal way of completing this level for, I think, 4 years, right? 4.5 years until Rubbertoe found the upgrade strat. So as long as I've been running the game up until that point, we always did that, and then he found the faster way of doing it. So you never know what's left to find in a game. There could be a crazy strat that obsoletes another crazy strat again.
Yeah, honestly. This game's gone through a lot of changes where entire tricks have just been eliminated from the route. I mean, it's not unique to this game, but it seems like a lot of stuff just comes and goes with this game throughout the years.
Ooh, that's
very
not good.
Too. Unfortunately, yeah.
Alright, well, it's alright. No, it's probably faster to just take the box. I'll just do it later. That's fine.
Yeah, so
I'll just take the box.
in this level, it's kind of difficult to get that cycle sometimes because you have to keep in mind that when you freeze the goo, also factors into when the buoy bobs up and down. So you have to make sure that you freeze the goo at the right time so you get up to the buoy at the right time when it gets pushed up by the water cycle. And if it's not timed the right way, you might not get enough height to get on top of it. Yeah, there are a lot of little minor skips as well, like what Jared just did there to collect that sock. When Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated comes out, and a lot more people have played this game casually, you'll start seeing more of those small things, like little challenges and secrets that you can skip doing just by doing a small little thing, like a ledge drop right there. So as a reminder, we're going to trade 10 socks to Patrick now. And this gives us the total of 15, which allows us to fight the first boss, Robo Sandy. You guys
best
remember
part
from
of
the
the game.
documentary? Yeah. You guys remember from the documentary, you have to fight in any 8% run, we still have to fight both robots, the main boss fights before Robo SpongeBob. So you can complete the game and collect the cruise bubble and bubble bowl power-ups. So we're fighting Sandy right now to get one of the 100 spatulas, and also unlock the bubble bowl, which is a power-up that we're going to use to do a glitch right after this, or glitch or exploit. It's a tough debate which one it is. It's with glitchy aspects to it. It's like a physics glitch exploit. Yeah. That also uses a glitch to get inside of it, so it's complicated. But
There's a lot of layers. Not
typically with this game, that's how it is. You have like a layer of glitches on top of another. In the meantime, I want to remind you guys that this run is being done for charity as well. The Hackensack University Medical Center Foundation, 100% of the proceeds are going toward this cause to help fight against the coronavirus. $3 will pay for one mask to help these workers continue their work, and $10 will pay for an antibody test to help research treatments for the cure. So for those of you who have donated so far, we appreciate it. We've already raised around half the donation goal. It's a little under half, which is pretty impressive for how long we've been streaming. So
we have some more donation as well. Do we have time?
Sure.
From J Bikes 88, $5 for the Sexy Darker Side movement. The Cool Square, $10, says, "Let's go, BFBB time. Been waiting for this all day. Good luck to Jared and Shift. I hope your wrist gets better soon." Sky Weiss says $20, saying, "First try." And Parrot, $20. Much love to my battle family, and big shout out to Jared for stepping in the run for the event. So yes, thank you to all four of you very much.
Yeah, guys, just, remember that anything that you can give to the cause, every dollar, every cent counts. So if you have some extra money or anything that you can give to the cause, this will really help just everybody in this tough situation that we've been in. So appreciate everybody who donated, and thank you guys for
Never
the support.
expected, always appreciated. That's the motto. In the meantime, I also mentioned that if you guys enjoyed that little guitar solo at the beginning of this run during the intermission, that's one of the composed pieces that we have for the next part of the Battle for Bikini Bottom documentary. That was composed by Music Man, and it's a remix of the Ramblin' Man song that's used in the NFL docs and also the SpongeBob episode with the Super Acquaintances. So if you enjoyed that, more to come. Just a little spoiler, a little teaser for you guys who are invested in that series. It'll be out soon.
Yeah, shouts out to Music Man. Music Man is sick.
Yeah, there have been a lot of really talented people working on this doc. You'll love to see it.
Also, I don't know if you saw me get hit by Robo Sandy, but it was a pretty good meme. I don't know.
Yeah,
Cool.
I noticed that.
Like, that happens every day.
All right, now we're gonna go do the thing. I think it'd be appropriate for JBHJ to explain this part. If you want to go ahead.
All right, sounds good. So after beating Robo Sandy, you unlock the first power-up that the first boss awards to you. You get the Bubble Bowl. So within the Goo Lagoon Pier, there's a skee ball machine where SpongeBob can use this Bubble Bowl to shoot the bowls into the holes. So also within the pier, there's 2 stone tikis that you can grab and throw into these holes. And you can pretty much wedge the bowl between the 2 stone tikis. And what this does is causes the physics to glitch out and make the ball go up and down through the hole almost like every other frame. So in doing that, you can pretty much generate a large number of in-game currency, shiny objects. And this is huge because you can pay for many in-game areas, all 8 of Mr. Krabs' spatulas, which cut off many minutes of grinding from the run. And even during this, we can go and collect other spatulas as well. So Patrick right now is carrying all the tikis to the skee ball machine. And once we're there, he's going to switch to SpongeBob, and things are going to get a little bit loud.
Yeah, get ready to cover your ears because this is fun.
Get your 30s ready.
Yeah, and your shift 30s if you got a shift 30.
He's really about to do it.
Money.
This is one of those tricks where when it was first found, most of the competitive runners of this game are focused on 80% of the time. But this trick kind of ushered in a new era where people started focusing on 100% and all the other extension and side categories as well. It kind of broke people away from the whole just 80% mentality, where for a while 80% wasn't really that fun to run because we hadn't figured out the routes surrounding it, and it was just kind of annoying to speedrun. But over time 80% has been figured out and people are enjoying it again, and plus a lot of time in the process was given to these other categories like 100%. So you really love to see how sometimes when something gets found or someone has a new idea, it challenges the way we play the game, and we ultimately come out having learned some stuff, and it just gets better. Yeah, so it's
Alright, so what's funny here is that even though you're getting an infinite number of money, you can still climb on these flags to skip paying a toll, which would normally spawn a trampoline to climb this tower, but either way, we're just going to climb the thing and do some platforming. Pretty tight ledge grab and just get the golden spatula this way.
It's also super important that, must mention that, yeah, it's not that precise to get the ball stuck in the tikis, but the reason why Jared takes a while to set up the tiki throw is because you want it to stay in and not have to go back and put the ball back in case it pops out. So the setup is more precise than it looks because you have to make sure that the ball stays in the entire time. Otherwise, if it pops out right at the end, you're going to have some problem. To go all the way back and set it up. At first, the original setup for this trick just involved, tending the machine and like walking on the ball to make it go in and out of the hole, but since we found the method for just letting it go automatically, that opened a whole new door. We could just start collecting other objectives on the pier while we're doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Real.
This part is pretty difficult. So these little tikis that are floating down here actually spawn when you activate the Whack-A-Tiki minigame here. In a casual playthrough, what you would do is hit the button to get the tikis to start coming up out of the holes, and then you just go in there as Patrick and whack them all. But because they're stored under the machine, you can fall under them as SpongeBob, and in doing so, you can land on top of the tikis and do a series of spins and bowls to get them to destroy them before you even activate the challenge. And that awards you a sock. It's one of the many small things that you can do to skip the little mini games that are scattered throughout the game.
Yeah.
For just about every mini game in the entire game, there are a few that are outliers, but for the most part, you can just skip all of them with some kind of glitch or skip or things along those lines.
There was a faster way to do that. I mean, dying isn't very fast either, but there's a method where you can just bubble wand all the groups of tikis, but I'm not good at that, so yeah. We just played it safe. But
So yeah.
yeah, I would refer to it by name, but I don't want to. For solid reasons, I won't refer to it by name.
It's for a good cause, guys.
We'll see if I get this, though. I'm going to be going for a damage boost here. That's going to, like, store my momentum throughout all these swingers if I get the right angle. My angle was a little weird, but this will work. So you'll see I'm going way faster than I should be on these swingers, and that's because my momentum won't stop until I hit the ground, like you just saw. So any damage boost momentum will stay present until you're grounded again at any point. Whoa, I just got a ton of lag there.
This is one of those spatulas where you gotta deal with a lot of combat, and with combat, because the only RNG in the entire game, other than the one PB that's in Shady Shoals where you hit it to get the sock, is just robot spawns. So any place where a robot can spawn, for the most part, has some kind of RNG tied to it. And in 100%, there are more RNG segments, obviously. If you're not dealing with a lot of combat, you're not going to deal with a lot of RNG. But this is one of those segments where you got to deal with it. Because the robots can spawn in random spots and their behavior varies. There actually is a way to skip that fight though, but it has yet to be done in a single segment to save time. And it probably won't be for a while. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, you can collect 8 spatulas, much like you can collect 8 spatulas from Patrick for trading in 80 socks. You can collect 8 spatulas from Mr. Krabs from buying them with the shiny objects, the in-game currency. And once we've collected all 8, we'll have done that. We've completed that part for the rest of the game, and that puts us toward the 40 spatula mark, which will be used to get into the second boss fight, where we'll fight Robo Patrick and collect the cruise level power-up from defeating the second boss in the game. Excuse me. Once we have both power-ups, we can use the famed technique, which most of you are probably aware of.
All right, we'll see.
We gotta get Loader in here. Do that next time.
We'll see if I make this cycle. I might be a little bit behind, so it's gonna be tight. Nope, we're good. All right, yeah. So when I'm trading in those, when I'm trading in all those shinies to get spatulas, I have to make sure that I'm fast and that I mash through the text as fast as I possibly can, because the blocks move in front of Shady Shoals in a pattern or in a cycle, I should say, in cycles. So every cycle that goes by, because you have to wait for one to go up so you can actually reach the top of Shady Shoals. And every time it goes up and down, it costs 6 seconds. So if I didn't mash through all that fast enough and I didn't make the cycle, I would lose 6 seconds. And then the more cycles you miss, you just add, 6 seconds for every cycle you miss. So we did get fastest cycle there, which is good.
Another strange thing about that block cycle is that the blocks rotate even before you even activated the button that spawns them. So they're just invisible blocks rotating before you even turn on the button. That's why as soon as you load into the level, you have to talk to Mr. Krabs as quickly as possible, because the blocks are still moving around without you being able to see them.
Yeah, like if your trading is a little bit slow, you can be totally off the cycle once you're done and moving on. So it's good to make sure that you press the trades as quickly as you can.
Yeah, as long as you're good at mashing, you can save those extra 2 seconds by doing that little reroute to get the sock before you go to Sand Mountain. Man, I am so excited for Rehydrated. Playing Sand Mountain at Purple Lamp Studios, one of the things that they let us do was mess with the... I got to sit down with one of the devs and we were able to adjust the values for the sliding movement. And they're actually making the sliding movement and the SpongeBob movement faster in this game. They decided to allow that because it might even feel a little bit slow in the original. It could always be faster, as we learned by now. And it's just really fun though. Like the SpongeBob, it's very much like a marble now. It goes way faster and it's heavier. And the sliding's also a lot faster too.
Yeah, it's funny because SpongeBob in this game is still significantly faster than your walking speed. So at any point, like right here, where there's a SpongeBob laying right in front of me and I can use it to get somewhere faster, we will, but it's not utilized very often. Oh, let's go. Not too good of RNG. That's another of the very few RNG parts of this run. It can take up to, I think the most I've had was in my runs earlier today. I literally had like 8 spins it took before. So it can happen as soon as the first spin and happen as bad as probably well over 8.
Yeah, it's actually a 1/10 chance that it works. But when you spin, it can go through multiple instances of tries. So it's a 1/10 chance, but it's not really a 1/10 chance because when you do one spin, it gives you more than one roll. So we joke around saying it's like Dampe, but if you miss it once, there's like half a second, but you still get multiple rolls for one spin. Yeah, it's basically Dampe, guys.
Yeah, it's Diet Dampe.
Diet Dampe.
The map.
Yeah, that's one of the small things. The Murmelair lobby skip. There are so many small, like little skips and glitches. Not necessarily glitches, but just skips and tiny little exploits that we overlook because we're so used to how the game plays now. It's transformed into something different than it originally was when we first started playing it. Even like casually, you could say. Like even here, we're skipping this little puzzle you have to do. You have to follow the little blinking tiles to make sure you don't get hit by the red ones. And you gotta go and you gotta walk in a pattern, but you can just skip the whole thing because you can throw the melon on top of one of the red tiles and it doesn't break. You can just jump to the end, trigger the end of the puzzle, and jump back and grab it. For this third funnel, it was supposed to be challenging, but a funny oversight allows you to walk on the edge here, and the balls can never actually get sent in that direction, so it's ultimately just a dumb challenge. It doesn't really work. Also, we're getting raided by ZFG as soon as we made a joke about damping. Let's go. Hello, ZFGers.
Yeah, that timing.
Yeah. So if you remember this puzzle from when you played the game casually, you might have thought this is basically like nuclear physics here, you know, trying to figure out how to get each of these things to turn in at the same time. But really the trick to it is you have to hit each one once. Doesn't even matter which order you hit them in. As long as you hit them all once, it works. This is like the mind twister of my childhood, trying to figure this out. Took everybody at least 5 minutes. Now we're going to do another big sequence break here. We're going to skip to the final level of the Murmelair by building up slide momentum and jumping toward the trigger. And Jared got it, nice. Now we're actually not going to fight Prawn in this part though. We're going to come back later to fight him with the cruise bubble, in which we can use to cruise boost and get out of bounds to skip the fight, but we'll explain how that works later. You guys remember when Security Tunnel was like the big run killer back in the day?
Dude,
Yeah.
it was even worse for me because I had the monitor or the CRT that was just pitch dark. So for me, it was like a crapshoot on whether.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some of us are playing on the CRTs. And, like, yeah. I remember you used to have that monitor you used to like do 100% runs with, and vine climb with the dark cave, and
Basically, just playing in pitch darkness. It was like it was like master mode. It was kind of fun. It was kind of.
you're just guessing where you are at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little ledges that you have to have visual cues for, and if it's too dark, there's just no shot you're gonna see them at all. And Security Tunnel is an example of that. There's like a little spot on the wall that you can aim for to like kind of make it consistent, but if you can't see it, then good luck. Yeah, so you'll see what we've been doing for a lot of these levels is just skipping them because it's way faster to just do them later, and this is one in particular that saves quite a bit of time and frustration by doing it later on.
Yeah, the ballroom puzzle skip. As you mentioned earlier, the menu warping is a great asset in this game because it makes backtracking painless and very fast.
I'm very thankful that we don't actually have to backtrack anywhere.
Yeah, can you imagine that? There's actually a category in the game that bans warping to add some little extra tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
shoutouts to Warpless Gang.
Yeah, just a little extension category just to add some more gameplay. Got some extra stuff in it.
Alright, so what's going on here is a bunch of robots have infested the Krusty Krab, right? But there's also an additional objective where you have to destroy every breakable object to spawn a single sock. So along with destroying the robots as quickly as possible, Jared has to destroy all of the breakables in the quickest possible order too. So since the robots at the bottom can knock you around back and forth, it can kind of be variable, but most of the time it's pretty much the same.
Oh yeah, Steven mentioned in the chat, shoutouts to Tomato Anus for taking the initiative to make an explained video on this game. I really had a lot of fun working with him. It was cool seeing him branch out to something like this, and really it's a big task to get into for a run this long for a full explanation. Especially with how complex it is. It was a lot of fun teaching him the small things about the game and seeing him learn in the process of making it. It was awesome working with him. Definitely a great video. You should go check that out if you haven't already. Alright, Industrial Park. So, for every 10 seconds he spins, I should re-explain that. So when RoboPatrick attacks you, he has then 10 seconds of spin cycle that he has to go through before he stops spinning. So for this first phase, you just hit him and you wait 10 seconds and you hit him again. You do that 3 times. In phase 2 it gets a little bit more complicated, but in phase 3 what we're really focused on here is the fact that he can't land anywhere in the arena. He can only land on certain designated points on the edge. And you'll see later that we do these manipulations that cause him to most of the time land in a not a designated area, excuse me, in more of like a predictable area. He lands in a more predictable area that you can just do, okay, he's gonna land in this range so I can hit him faster. Back in the day, in like 2016 and earlier, there was no consistent method for this, and it was just extremely difficult to predict where he was gonna go. But you'll see later the manipulation strategy that was discovered by Alex97. He made a whole 30-minute video of testing and explaining how this works. It's pretty legendary from back in the day. He pretty much dissected the entire boss and figured the whole thing out. Really cool. That guy's contributed a lot to this community. Shoutouts to him. So, for this next part, Jared is going to stand on this box and get attacked by RoboPatrick purposefully, because if he doesn't, he would then proceed to attack him around the ring with a vomit attack, which lasts for a little bit of time. So, by ending the vomit cycle early by getting hit, he does have to wait to watch him do the little taunt after he hits you, but you don't have to wait through all the time it takes him to vomit around the entire stage. And now that the goo is up, Jared has to be sure to keep the boxes dropping by grabbing the Texas Swingers. In grabbing the Texas Swingers, you cause the boxes to fall wherever RoboPatrick is currently located. So he dropped those boxes, so over there you can hit RoboPatrick pretty quickly. And since you already had these boxes dropped on the ground, you can go here and get hit again. Now the goo is even higher and there's less space to walk on, so you're just gonna, again, bait him to attack and then hover above the stage with the tech called swing stalling and watch where he goes. At the 10-second mark, he's gonna approach around the 10-second mark, grab that so he drops another box, and bam. Very nice. And because we're in the second half of the arena, the far half, when he turns around to grab the lever, it takes him less time to grab it, because if he were in the front half, he'd have to run over to the lever, turn all the way around 180, and then grab it. So what you want to do for phase 2 is you want to have him land in the back half of the arena, so that way when he turns around, he grabs the lever instantly. Otherwise, you're just wasting time as he turns around and grabs it. And as you can see, Jared will be going to these spots in the corners to do Alex's manipulations. That way, when RoboPatrick spins to which is our left each time, you can see here, excuse me, his left, my bad. He spins to his left, and for 10 seconds, he'll spin, and then he'll land in the first spot he possibly can after the 10 seconds are up.
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't land there, actually.
It was looking like it.
Yeah, for the most part, these landing spots are pretty predictable, but sometimes the game can throw you a curveball.
Yeah, there are some more complex situations, but generally speaking, he'll land around the opposite two parts of the square from where you started. So he'll probably land on the front platform or the front part of the arena or the right side of the arena, and he'll land on the right side this time. But what it does is that it eliminates, it near eliminates an extremely low chance, but it still can sometimes happen that he'll land in the back. But landing in the back is almost never happens now. It's very rare, thanks to these manipulations that were found a few years ago. Now we're up to the crazy stuff. So Jared's doing a tech called bowl boosting through these doors by using the trigger that's used to open a door and bowl on the same frame. He transfers all his momentum of bowling into a door opening sequence that pushes him to the next door. But this is not the only place where we can store bowling momentum. There's actually another one that we're going to talk about now, called the cruise boost. By using the bubble bowl and cruise bubble on the same frame, SpongeBob can trap however fast he's moving with his bowling shot on that frame, and it gives him this perpetual push speed that causes him to run faster, or just stand faster, as I like to say it. Whenever he's not even getting an analog input, he can still get pushed forward with the speed. Now, just because you see here, as most people are familiar with, cruise boosting just makes you run twice as fast. But over the years, we've found more methods for making cruise boosting faster.
A little spicier, you know.
A little spicier.
Yeah. You see?
Faster.
So basically, cruise boosting works because you are pressing the two buttons of bubble bowling and cruise missiling at the same time, and this allows you to like capture speed of whatever speed you have on those frames, or on the frame that you press those two buttons is captured. So for some reason, if you stand up on a ledge and slide off of it while cruise boosting, this registers you as moving significantly faster, and as a result, you just move way faster than a normal cruise boost. And you can do this mostly at the sand mountain levels, but there's a bunch of other places where you can apply these. These are called LCBs.
Yep. Ledge cruise boosts are very widely used in the 100% run by a lot of players now.
And they're pretty sick. They're a lot of fun to use, but they're harder to control.
Ooh, that was crazy.
I hit the one frame on accident. Oh. Wow. Okay, I mean, we're alive, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, what Jared was trying to do was slide off the slide there and kind of be off the slide for that bash. So if you guys are familiar with the term fast nut, one of the old tricks in this game that people used to know very well was the fast nut, where you press the one frame, you press the Y button on the one frame that you go on the slide to bash to the nut in Sandy's Dream. That was very similar what Jared just did there. But there was a tech, well, with the advent of LCBs and displacement cruise boosts and all sorts of faster cruise boosts, we found that you can actually be off the slide and get extra frames for bashing, but it doesn't give you the slide momentum tacked onto it. So if you do the one frame, you get more speed because it tacks on your sliding speed, but because we already have enough speed from the LCB anyway, we can just, go off the slide and do it and have more frames, and we can still make it on top of the ice pillar because the cruise boost is so fast anyway. So you're slowly seeing stuff like fast nut get obsoleted from the run because we know how to cruise boost faster now.
So this is one of the two slides that he returns to after getting the ability to cruise boost. And personally, I struggle with this next one a little bit more than the one he just did. But it's honestly different from player to player. But this is considered a large reset point, and as one of the most challenging parts of the game for a lot of players, myself included.
Yeah, I reset all my runs of this thing. This slide here. There are actually two different methods for this trick. Oh, there we go. Nice.
Nice. So now he's zooming.
Alright, so one of the side objectives of this slide, besides the time challenge of course, is to destroy all 8 Sandmen on the slide. And in casual gameplay, the game requires you to take 2 separate trips down. But thanks to your fast cruise boost speed, you can even do this without an LCB, but it really helps to have the higher speed. you can end up destroying all 8 Sandmen in one trip. And at the end of the slide, there's some crazy movement to reach the bottom area to the top area. You can make these crazy jumps like so.
Nice.
Very nice.
Did it to him.
Yeah, so you might be wondering, for the rest of the run, we're not going to really use these, and the reason why is because it's not very useful in a lot of areas, because these faster cruise boosts are a bit riskier, and they really only save time when you're running through all these really long levels, like the slides, for example. If there's a lot of ground to cover, you want a faster cruise boost, and it just saves more time the longer it is. And there are also only a few areas in each level where you can do these, and we're still yet to find more. We're still looking for more spots where we can do them. But it's very limited in its application and where you can even activate them, so you get to see this treat in this part of the game. Also, nice, Jared. Very nice.
I was scared of that the whole run, so now that's gone. We're good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the only one going for this shit.
Yeah, those are some really tight jumps, and the damage stop into damage boost, and if you land a little bit more to the left when you're jumping up on that too, you just get pushed in the complete opposite direction. You gotta really see this trick get messed up a couple of times to appreciate how precise that jump is. Very nice job.
Alright, so now that we have access to cruise boosting, we can start backtracking to previous levels now to collect other objectives. So Jared's going to go ahead and get a few socks and return to the ballroom as well, where the ballroom skip will be happening.
This phase of the game is like cleaning up all the objectives that he left behind when he went through these levels for the first time. So
Yeah, it's very rapid.
He's just going to be blowing through a lot of levels and socks very quickly, and I would actually say this, like,
Nice.
After Mountain is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, like, section of 100%. Just like Murmalair and all these places where you just come in and do a bunch of quick tasks like Prawn and Ballroom and stuff. I just really enjoy this.
Yeah, we saved Prawn for later because we can complete it faster by touching a debug trigger that's located out of bounds to skip the fight. We do this a couple more times for the other bosses that have these similar triggers. Yeah, the Murmalair has a lot of skips to collect these objectives and such. Ringo, if you want to explain why Jared keeps turning to the side for some of these cruise boosts and why others he's not.
Well, what he's doing is using reverse cruise boosting, which is basically the same as cruise boosting, but it's a slight optimization of the... Well, you're optimizing the animation. So basically, when you do a normal cruise boost with the camera head-on, it requires you to shoot 2 missiles at the wall, and you have to fully watch both missiles, go through before you can move again. But when you use the reverse cruise boost, you're actually canceling the second torpedo animation significantly faster than, and it's I'm not explaining. I'm stuttering quite a bit, but but like you are able to cancel the second torpedo animation, which all around is just faster, and it adds up quite a bit if you use reverse cruise boosting, multiple times throughout the run.
Yeah. Felt appropriate to have the guy who found the trick to explain it.
Yeah, the secret.
Oh, wow.
The secret.
That's a shame. I thought I was a little low on that. I didn't get the ledge stall. That's alright, we'll try it again. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to head to the caves after this and get that sock that I missed in the early game, and then we'll be good.
Yep. Remember from earlier when Jared drowned trying to collect the sock as Patrick, we said we were going to get this later, so here he is doing that now with a reverse cruise boost. And you're just going to jump up onto the buoy of SpongeBob with cruise boost movement and grab that thing.
Do we have time for a few donations?
Oh wait, we don't need that one.
Yeah, you already got the other one.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
read a few donations.
All right, we have $20 from KT1JDDD saying, I remember picking up this game on PS2 in 2010. My girlfriend, now my wife, showed me this game and I was getting her into speedruns. We were sad when we saw there wasn't anything, so we picked it up ourselves. Curtis JK says says BOB is popping off right now. GL Jared, $10, thank you very much. And Konasumi says, wishing you the best on this run, Jared, $5. Thank you very much for your donation.
Hey, Kona.
Yeah, shoutouts to all those guys. KT was the first person to like ever complete an official documented speedrun of this game. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. That's alright.
That's a really hard jump.
I don't think my cruise boost was even like fast enough because I barely made dumb bash. I think that was my problem. I mean, I probably could have stalled a little longer on the ledge, but there we go. This one's good. Yeah, you can tell that that's like a really sketchy jump, and it probably shouldn't work, but you know, for some reason it does.
It's insane that even works. Yeah.
I remember the
originally
first
we
time
had
I
like
ever
a
saw
little-
that, my mind was blown.
We had a little LCB boost that we used to do here, and that's how we thought we were gonna have to do it. But then we figured out that you can just space jumps to get here, and it's tight, but it works.
Nice.
Yeah, I did get that. He did move a little bit, so.
That was so cool.
So what?
Yeah.
That was a little spatula animation skip by entering the next loading zone, and while he was, he was still being pushed forward, and he touched the spatula. So yeah, cancels the animation.
That was a ton of fun. I should do it again sometime.
Yeah, Jared's actually jumping around the cutscene trigger right now to skip this whole fight sequence.
And bouncing on the sign.
Sign bounce, yep.
Yeah, you're pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm alright.
You know,
I got style.
I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't not laugh at Ringo Tongo every time he opens his mouth. Alright, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna see if I can do it. Oh yeah, it's easy. Alright, so right there, I was able to... That is like a mandatory sign. A lot of the signs in the game, if you walk past it, it will automatically force you to read it. So that's one of those. So slamming in the middle of that sign being read and timing it perfectly can save some time. Make it so that sign doesn't affect anything. It's a little
This
sketchy.
whole area of the caves bombards you with signs because it's a tutorial area, so you're just constantly like closing out dialogue. It's kind of throws you off at times.
And they're all signs that teach you how to play the game as Patrick too, which we're not supposed to be here as SpongeBob, so it's just all, it's all weird stuff happening right now.
being bombarded with extremely relevant information on how to throw melons as Patrick.
As we just bash through the entire level and just don't use a single melon.
Yeah.
We tried to utilize SpongeBob as much as possible if that wasn't obvious, because cruise boosting just makes the most difference in the world when it comes to all of this. So anytime that we can do something with him, it's pretty much faster. There's a few instances where it's faster to use other characters, but for the most part, it's SpongeBob.
You can tell whenever you look at the history of any of these speedrun categories, like any percent, 100%, and so forth. You can tell when a category is starting to get optimized, the more Sandy and Patrick are cut out of the run. The fewer objectives you need to collect with the other characters, the better.
There have been a lot of strats in the past that relied using other characters that have just been replaced with cruise boosting as SpongeBob entirely.
Alright, so this next trick coming up now is called Drain the Lake Clip, and it utilizes a lot of different things together for it to work.
If it works.
When you have an active cruise boost and you fall from a height like that, your gravity is not reset when you hit the ground. So combined with lag and L clipping, you can use that extra gravity to clip yourself through the ground, allowing you to skip the entire challenge here, which would normally require you to throw RNG-based robots at the 6 fountains in the or the 5 fountains, however many fountains there are in the lake.
All you have to do is mash the shit out of the pause button.
Just press the buttons fast until it works.
Yep.
You guys will get that one soon enough.
Alright, well, we got both the doubles, so that's good. I'm not gonna do the teeter-totter thing. I just really don't feel like it.
Sorry, I don't mean it.
Oh, wait, what am I doing? I wanted to do this, actually. I want to see if I can do this, because this movement's kind of cool. Even though I'm probably not saving time off of it. Very
Hey
nice.
guys, get ready for part 2.
Alright, yeah, so there's an alternate strat. I'm not going to do it because I just don't want to lose any unnecessary time. I'm also bad at it. But you can actually use that platform, that long platform that's right back there. And you can run to the other side of it so the other side comes up. Then run backwards and use the cruise boost momentum in the spatula animation to just glide straight into the gate loading zone. Well, not the loading zone, but the loading zone for the text box. So you can just activate it right after. It saves a little bit of time. It's not too much faster, but just for the sake of consistency, opted out of that one.
Yeah, after this, you only have a spatula and a sock to collect, and then it's on the kelp forest.
Yeah, kelp forest is like incredibly different. I mean, despite even just cruise boosting in general, kelp is probably one of the most busted levels in the entire game.
We got a donation coming in.
We have $10 from HD Lex saying,
Hey.
"Good luck on the run, Jared. I appreciate your dedication to the Luigi's Mansion community and I'm looking forward to your future Luigi's Mansion.
Thanks, HD.
Oh no.
A multi-game runner this high level."
Yeah, well, people dream sometimes, but thanks for the donation, HD. I appreciate that. That was so mean. It's kind of funny, though. Yeah, HD is a good friend of mine, so shout out to him. I appreciate that, though.
HD's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
He gives me money sometimes.
Yeah, you know. Not me, but
Maybe he can pay you to play Luigi's Mansion.
if he's paying me, sure.
Jared, don't lie. We all know you do that for free.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what Jared wouldn't do for free, though, apparently?
Oh, no.
Play Dark Souls.
Yeah, I don't get what's with that. I ask you over and over every day, and you just refuse.
You know what? You ever think that maybe it's just because I don't like
'Cause
you?
you're too scared.
No, I just, you know. I would listen to, like, Shift. I'd listen to him. Ringo Tongo.
Yeah, I get it. Real mature, bud. Yeah. You're on thin ice.
Alright, so this is, Kelp Forest. As you can see, some things happened. So, we actually just entered the level completely backwards. So this is the end of Kelp. Where we just came in from is actually where you're supposed to exit this area from, which is why there's just a spatula waiting at the end of the slide here for us. And then another cool thing we're about to do right here is we're going to cross the plane that starts the timer, and we're going to use the box that we entered in, and we can just hit the trigger to end the timer right there, grab the spatula. So we just skipped, I think it's the longest slide in the game, isn't it?
Yep, and this is one of the earliest finds ever in this game. This was found 8 years ago. The kelp forest backward trick. It's obviously been optimized quite a bit since then with cruise boosting and such, but
Yeah,
it's awesome. These things still around today.
It is possible to scale the walls in the first area and actually just climb up there without cruise boosting, but obviously with cruise boosting it's faster and easier, so... Alright, so coming up, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something. No guarantee on how fast or slow this is, but we'll see.
So, maybe some of you guys remember in the past there was a little trick we used to get into the cage in a Dutchman's Graveyard called elbow displacement clipping. And, well, this is very similar, but we're going to do it to get to the end of the kelp forest here to collect the crystal and find the camper early. This is called Cave Camper Early, and it's a very precise trick. What Jared's trying to do, and again, remember there are variables for how quickly you can bowl the bowling ball and what power you throw it at. So he has to stand in an exact spot at an exact angle. Throw the ball at an exact power level to get it to fall in an exact spot, and then by standing under it in this exact spot, facing toward the wall, he can activate the cruise bubble and bubble ball on the same frame, on the exact frame that the ball pushes him, to retain his push speed from the bowling ball on the frame that he gets pushed through and clip through the wall. Now there's more complexity to why he's able to clip through, but I'm not going to try to crowd your head with too much information. And there he goes, first try.
Yeah, first try.
Easy.
Everybody clap.
No.
All right, I'm honestly starting to question why we brought Ringo in on the commentary.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, so I didn't actually save time off of doing that. If you get it first try, I think it's what, like 20-second shift. You would know more than I would.
It's gotten faster as time has gone on, but initially it was 10 seconds over the method where you clip out and grab back into the map. I think that one is like, I think it's 20 seconds over the method under that. I'm not sure because like everybody does different stuff here. I know that like compared to the optimal strat, it's 10 seconds faster.
Alright, yeah, we should have just played that safe in the first place, but it's no problem. Yeah, so it's saving time because, number one, it takes away a pretty big cutscene. Also allows us to do both of these cave segments in one go. Also, that's a pretty precise jump right there. Or bash, I should say. So there's a very tiny little leaf you might have saw on the top of that vine that you just have to barely stand on and bash in the right spot and aim at the right spot on the wall for you to actually get a grounded state and then keep doing bashes up. So that jump is a lot more precise than it probably looks.
Yeah, this game being made in the early 2000s and also, you know, being a game based on a cartoon, there are a lot of objects, solid objects in this game that are just paper thin, like 2D objects that you can just stand on. And that leaf is one of them, where kind of like the flags that you can jump on in Goo Lagoon. They're super thin, and there's a very small surface space where you can stand on them. So Jared had to not only stand on that little precise area, but he also had to get the right bash and turning speed to get on the side of that rock and bash up.
Alright, so
here we go.
Yeah, we're going to do another lag clip here. This one is the most inconsistent out of all of them. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work, but we'll see.
Yeah, when you get stuck between these two objects, it's very weird. It kind of like pushes you back and forth, and you gotta like lag on the right frame. But nice job, Jared.
Yeah, so after you respawn there is one frame that SpongeBob isn't in his animation. So you might have heard me press the L trigger. So if I press L and hold it on that exact one frame, it will actually skip the whole entire spatula animation as a whole. And I didn't get it because it's obviously pretty precise, but it saves about 6 seconds, I think, is how long a spatula animation is. It's about 5 or 6 seconds. Yeah, this
segment gets broken a lot with cruise boosting.
It's a pretty clean swamp, actually. Wasn't too bad. Alright. So we're just going to Tell Mrs. Puff we got all the campers, get the spatula here. And then there's the secret sock right here that a lot of people don't know about.
I got one of those too.
Yeah, I mean, that was hilarious. And,
Anyway.
man. Okay, well, that's annoying.
This comment, if you agree.
I
Comedy.
mean, yeah. Look at all the people laughing in the chat. I don't see any.
Jared, I'm noticing you missed this sock.
Straight being bullied now. Yeah, nice bowling shot.
Yeah, thanks.
That's what you get for making fun of me. I'm sorry.
The grave.
Here we are in Dutchman's graveyard, the green level.
The green level. That's it. No, you don't. No, you don't have to explain anything else. I think you got it.
Yeah, I like green.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like green.
Green. This is one of those spatulas that a lot of people didn't know about when they played this game casually. So one of the things when I visited Purple Lamp to help work on the remake of this game, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, I suggested that they add a little symbol on the tanker that indicates you can use the cruise bubble on it. Just like a very subtle thing. So if you see it, it's like, oh, look, it's the symbol for the cruise bubble. I can use that. So the idea that came from that was like, what if we just have, instead of the little hand symbol on all the buttons, we instead have different symbols for the different moves that you use. So in the Murmelair, instead of having the hand button for the things that you hit with a bowling ball, have a little bowling ball symbol on it instead. Obviously, you already covered the tanker, having the cruise bubble symbol, just like little accessibility features that make the game, you know, a little less hard to understand, I guess, how to learn how to play it. That's what this game really struggled with, is it's kind of hard to learn how to play if you don't read all the signs and stuff, but yeah. Obviously that's why games get remade, to make them more accessible for new audiences.
So the good thing about getting that spatula right where we did is that once you collect spatulas, they immediately allow you to warp to them. So even if you haven't technically unlocked the task, it will still let you warp as soon as you collect it. So we just skipped a ton of long and boring platforming, and I think it has to be done with Sandy, doesn't it?
I'm
If
pretty sure.
you're talking about the sock collection, yes.
Oh no, I just mean like if we couldn't disable the hand right there and grab the shipwreck bungee spatula, you'd have to do
back
that.
and forth with SpongeBob and Sandy. A lot of wall jumps. One of the levels that probably gave a lot of people trouble when they played it.
So we're fortunate enough that hand disable exists and that you can just warp to a spatula as soon as you collect it. It's a good sequence breaker.
There are a lot of useless sequence breaks in that level too. It's a pretty busted level. I'm sure a lot of people found that when they were playing the game when they were younger. You can skip all those wall jumps and stuff.
Oh yeah, I should also probably explain another weird thing here. Even if you press that button without destroying the cannons, you can still warp to the Dutchman spatula anyways. I don't know why it gives you accessibility to it, but... Oh, I jumped way too early. What was I even doing?
Jared?
Hey. Hey.
So, is there any, you want to talk about what just happened, or?
No. I'm doing this for you, Shift.
Oh man.
Oh, it's so easy.
This was a strat for like a week.
Why do you hate that strat so much?
Well, like, I mean, I don't know why you do it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, you don't know why I do it.
It's a stupid strat because, like, the reason why I even looked for it in the first place is like, oh, well, you have to go to the barrels on the other side of the ship to bash up. You have to turn all the way around to do it. But if you do the swinger bash, then you can. I mean, if you do the swinger jumps, you can just go straight to the sock. But you know, instead of looking for a way to like bash off the little oil tanks on the other side of the ship, I decided to look for that, which just makes no sense. And then, yeah, now we just bash on the other oil tanks. Obviously, it's hard to put in. It's hard to really verbalize it without showing. But
You already know what time it
it's
is.
like one of those things where it's like overcomplicating it, trying to find out how to do a trick.
Here we have Jared entering the dome.
Yeah, so
One of those tricks I wish I didn't discover.
this is not the optimal way to do this. It's better to do it with a lag clip, but just for the sake of being a marathon run.
Jared is one of the people who has post-traumatic stress from having to do this in runs in 2018, and he just clings to it.
The literal last hard thing in the run, like, you did this at what? Your timer was like close to an hour at this point.
I mean, it's right before the Chum Bucket Lab. Yeah, back in the day, there were 3 runners who used this trick. Like the top 3 used it, and it was extremely difficult to get consistently. As a matter of fact, even trying to like prove that this trick was RTA viable in the first place required like a week of just non-stop grinding. And what I did was I graphed my attempts on a live split. I did like a little timer. Also, nice job, Jared. I did a little like a timer test where I timed how long it took me to get my attempts for like each attempt for this cage. And at the end, we put them into live split on splits.io. We put them up there, and we saw the little graph show that the time it took to get the trick went all the way down. So, I mean, you'll see that in part 3 of the documentary. It's like one of those things where it was so inconsistent that we needed like statistical evidence that it was getting more consistent to prove that it was more consistent.
We have time for a couple donations.
Yeah, now's actually
sure.
a good time.
All right, cool. Navy Dad, $20 says, "Good job, all. Great cause." And I'm bored with an A gives $100, saying, "For charity, love the BFBB community as a whole. I don't know where I'd be without you all. Hope to see you all at PACE next year." Thank you to both.
Yeah, wait. Just in time too. Jared is doing a little maneuver here. It's actually purposeful. He purposefully went onto the out of bounds kill stand, as we mentioned in the beginning of the run, which caused the hand to grab him and reactivate the out of bounds kill triggers. So now if he goes out of bounds again, he'll get grabbed by the hand. But this is a good thing because we need this for the rest of the run to do some cutscene skips and make the gameplay a little bit faster. Remember back in the day we used to have to do 1 frames to get on top of the rooftops?
I mean, I didn't, but you know, I watched you do it and I laughed.
We're talking to Jared there.
Yeah, I figured I'd just, you know, chime in. Give my
Yeah, you know,
thoughts.
you know,
I thought I would just speak.
I have a certain phrase that I want to say. It's 2 words. One starts, you know, the first word starts with an I, and the last one starts with a ask and ends with a ud. You know what that is? You know, like I asked.
Yeah. I see.
I asked. I really did. Okay. Save
You're gonna
that
make me
cruise.
break down on a live stream.
What did you say?
You're gonna make me break down on a live stream.
I mean, I got you there. I don't know how you're gonna recover. But yeah, Ringo Tongo stream is basically in the dirt at this point.
Just do it already.
I felt like this cruise boost was actually kind of slow, but turns out it's not. I don't know. I guess what do I know?
It's one of the spots where you gotta make sure that cruise boost is fast too. You don't want to miss that building.
Original RCB.
There we go.
Wow, I actually just got dotted, dude. I just got dotted.
Ding.
Let's try this again. How did he even predict that I was gonna go up there? That was kind of weird.
And he just moved to that spot where you were going there.
All right, well, I think for the fun of it, we'll just go for this too. We got to get checkpointed up here first, but we can jump off.
So do you guys remember back when I talked about boosting through the doors by using the bowling shot and entering the door on the same frame? We can do that here by spawning and using the bowling shot on the frame you respawn. Easy Escape actually covered this in one of his top 10 swag tricks in speedrunning, I think. It's called bowl boosting off the hand. And because the time it takes to travel from the beginning of the level to that respawn point is 1 frame. We take all that momentum we move from the beginning of the map to here in 1 frame, stack it onto our bowling speed, and get shot straight forward. So when Jared gets it, you'll be able to see that. There we go, right there.
We go.
Yeah, some of these bowl boosts are unviable outside of tests, but this is one of them where it just sends you straight forward and the angle is not frame precise, so it's a lot more reasonable to go for as a backup. In fact, there's actually an LCB route for this that uses that as the main strategy. It's kind of cool. Maybe it'll be used in runs someday. My bad, it's a DCB, not an LCB. We actually need an LCB here.
Oh, I
anyway,
pressed B on accident. Whoops.
Not to digress.
Anyways, yeah, what I was gonna say, I did not mean to press B there, but that's not even the optimal way to do that, but it's pretty swag, so just go for it, why not? I'm trying to do as many, like, interesting things that you don't really see in a normal run.
Go for lighthouse clip then.
Oh, I don't even know how to do that.
Worst trick in the entire game.
Yeah, it's, what, pure RNG, isn't it?
Somewhat. It's weird. I think it'll be fine once it gets looked into more. But yeah, it's super annoying because you need to have the right robots follow you to push you into the gate.
Number 1 in the Bikini Bottom scavenger hunt. 3 years running.
Yeah, downtown is one of those levels where I think we're just brushing the surface of how optimized this level can get. I feel like we're going to someday be beating this level in under 6 minutes with all the stuff that we can possibly do with, like, that 40-speed LCB that was found in the streets, and we got lighthouse clip, LCB, DCB rooftops, you know. This segment's going to be crazy fast someday.
Number 1 in the Bikini Bottom scavenger hunt. 3 years running. Thank you.
Are you going to go for the one-frame door open in this?
Number 1 in the Bikini Bottom scavenger
Yeah, I probably could. I
hunt.
probably won't get it first try, but I can definitely just go for it. It won't take long.
Cool. Yeah, it's one of those things where it just looks so easy, but it's actually pretty hard if you don't know the timing for it.
I'm also playing on this horrible TV, so it's like my timing is so off.
Well, you just gotta get used to it, you know, for whatever TV you're using. It's
Yeah.
the same animation every time. Okay, question in the chat. LCB is ledge cruise boost. So when you slide off a ledge and use the cruise bubble and the cruise boost inputs on the frame you slide off, that gives you increased speed because you get the momentum from falling off the ledge. I didn't talk much about displacement cruise boosting in this run because it hasn't really been too relevant. But displacement cruise boosting is a very similar concept, but you use another object to displace you. I mean, technically an LCB is also a displacement cruise boost, but usually when someone says displacement cruise boost, they're referring to a bowling ball pushing you. And there's some of the more difficult strats in the run.
Yeah, so there's a pretty tight cycle that I'm trying to make here. I do have cruise boosting as an option if I do fall behind on the cycle, but I didn't. But there's an even faster cycle that Shift does that utilizes the cruise boosting the whole entire time. How much time does that save? Like 15 or something?
12 and a half.
Yeah.
It might be more now because there's that strat that you use, like I mentioned before, the one frame door open. Because you can use your cruise boost momentum to push you to the door, so it might save a little bit more time now. Might save like 15 seconds now, who knows. But you gotta work for those 15 seconds.
Yeah, so right here.
Yeah, the C needle is so complex when you're cruise boosting, and also very nice. That was pretty smooth.
That was good.
As long as we
Yeah,
make
this
this
is one
jump.
of those instances where we need to have the hand enabled, so when Jared grabs the spatula, he'll respawn immediately because he dies and he respawns. And then from there, you just leave and skip the spatula animation.
All right, we got one more. Well, technically two more. One more full area left, and then we got to finish up Dream, and then we are good. There's actually a gold too. I'm keeping
Nice.
track of this just in case I gold anything. I'll mess on my best to go down. All right, so right off the bat,
Welcome to
there is a lag clip that you do here in other categories that's really fast, but actually doesn't save any time in this category because, well, first of all, is it because of full menu completion that we don't do it? Is that one of the reasons?
No, it's because you need to have the source requirements for every spatula.
Right, yeah,
So
that's
you
right.
have to get the source collectibles that contribute to each spatula to keep it at 100%. Yeah, the reason why we have these rules set in place, kind of like a constitution where it covers all the possible things that can get found. And, you know, lo and behold, we actually have found strategies that can be used to duplicate spatulas and socks and skip collecting things. So to keep it in the true nature of 100%, where you collect all the socks and stuff, we make it so you have to collect all the collectibles that from their sources that contribute to the spatulas that you collect.
Yeah. So I don't even think it would save time in 100% anyways, because the paintings really aren't too far out of the way with what you have to do in 100%. Alright, I'm also gonna go for the entrance.
Yeah, what Jared did there is also a huge skip, by the way. Typically that spatula can only be obtained at the end of rock bottom. However, because he was able to hit the button that activates the time challenge early, he could collect that spatula without having to go through the entirety of rock bottom and then activate that time challenge and slide down to collect it. It's going to be interesting seeing how people react to these runs once they play Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. That's what I'm most excited about, is people going back and watching runs of the original game after having played it, because a lot of people have not played this game yet, but once they have, you know, they're going to see stuff like that and go, damn. Anyway.
Alright, did you get it?
Minar cancel, yeah. Jared was trying to attempt to skip the spatula animation there by entering the museum and hitting the R trigger on the exact frame he touched the spatula. Pretty difficult strategy. Props are going for it. Mad props.
Oh, we're gonna make this up. We're still making this cycle, no problem. No, we're not.
Wow. Oh, man.
I
That would
slammed.
have been crazy, though.
I slammed
That
too
would've
late.
been insane. If you didn't grab that ledge, damn.
Oh, we got another chance to make it up. Hold on.
Okay. You gotta do the damage boost.
Oh no. Yeah, there's no way we're gonna make this. Yeah. That's alright, we'll wait. Yeah, this is...
I find it so weird that you don't turn your camera when you do this.
I hate turning my camera. I think it makes me worse at
So
it.
weird.
Throws me so off.
It just shows you where to jump. Jared's Giants is in need of a major comeback.
3 years running.
Jared's Giants belongs in
Thanks
the
for your time, Bill.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Alright. Was not the best museum, but could have went way worse, so...
Say hello to my little bubble friend.
Yeah, in a lot of these cruise boost sections, well, at least what I do sometimes is I call the controller for some of them. I don't know about Jared and what he does, but I think some people do switch between claw and normal grip for a lot of these sections.
I play
I
claw
call-
the entire time I play.
Really?
me too.
Didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
Like right now I'm pressing A with my pointer finger. And then I spin right here with my pointer.
Yeah. I don't know. I just go back and forth personally.
Good sleepy. That was like pretty similar to what we did in Dream earlier, oil skip. Pretty much the same concept where you're sliding off of a ledge to extend the amount of frames that you have to input a bash while keeping your damage momentum. So, same kind of thing there. I want to get rid of this robot.
That section is actually really hard to optimize, the leading up to the first clam. So you can get the bowling shot off the robot while you're taking the clam text box too. And that also leaves a little bit of annoying stuff going on there with the kid roaming around. I don't know how I feel about the development of this level though, because I used to like having to run to all 3 of the lasers, but now most people go to 2 of them, but some only go to just 1 of them now.
I like the way that you do it.
Where you bowl off the ledge.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go for that, because I'll probably die and lose a lot of time, but yeah, pretty much you can stand on the very, very edge of this laser on this side over here and just barely hit the laser over here that I'm about to go to with a cruise missile, so you only have to make the trip over to 1 if you do it the way that Shift does in the record. But this is the second most optimal way.
Dude, you almost gave me a heart attack with that.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna run off.
No, I noticed that I missed it. I noticed.
Like, you never know, like, if somebody's, like, reading chat or, like, they, like, blink for a second and they miss something, but, like... Oh, man. That happens so much where, like, you just... The 1 second you let your guard down, you just do something like that.
Yeah.
It's 100%, man. You can never let your guard down.
Yeah, that's
We
hundo
talk about
for
this
you.
game all the time, Jared.
Yeah, that's why I never PB in this category.
That's why nobody ever PBs in this category.
Because you always let your guard down in this category. It doesn't matter what you do. It's impossible to play perfect in this category. It's just like back-to-back difficult stuff.
Also, I want to say this is a really good marathon run, by the way. Like, really, really good. You're gonna get a good time, dude. Damn.
Ooh, I barely made that. Wow.
That was sick. Nice.
Alright, we got one more cool trick. Oh, I should have bowled. That's alright.
Extreme gaming.
I got stuck on the nose. I got lucky. Cool. Alright, yep, this is the last... Well, it's actually not the last cool trick. But it is pretty interesting how this works. So, I'm going to cancel the text, pause immediately after. I'm going to hold up right while it's loading in. And then right here, I'm going to press A and B on the frame afterwards. And we can skip the cutscene and having to mash through the starting text. Saves quite a bit of time.
This skip actually soft locks the challenge, so you can never get the prompt to start it again. So if you end up not getting the second cutscene skip, you can just reload the level and you don't have to go through the mashing for the starting text anyway. Yeah, the menuing in this game is pretty fast because we can use both analog sticks and the D-pad if you wanted to menu the frame.
No one tries to utilize all 3.
I think some people actually use it on GameCube because the C-stick kind of sucks for it.
Interesting.
At least that's what I did when I played. The GameCube's D-pad's also pretty decent too, so unlike the Xbox D-pad.
Oh, that thing is an atrocity.
360 is somehow even worse.
The Xbox original controller in general, yeah. I'll pass. I mean, I've gotten used to the thing, but it's definitely not my favorite.
I mean, imagine if we had to use the Duke, though.
No. So what actually is the gold standard for a good D-pad? PS4, PS3, PS2?
Yes, PlayStation controllers all have good D-pads in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I like the Joy-Con D-pad because it's not a D-pad, it's just 4 buttons. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, that's like what the PS4 one is too. It's like the individual buttons. I like that.
This is another one of those skips where you can touch a debug trigger to end the fight. This is one of the first major skips found in this game, actually found back in 2012. Actually, maybe it was even 2011, I don't remember. I've kind of emptied my mind of everything that consists of part 1 to focus on part 2. It's crazy that people have been playing this game that long.
All right, so obviously not intended way of doing this, but pretty sick. Oops.
Yep.
If I could grab the ledge.
This is all out of bounds. Skips a huge gauntlet. See, interestingly, in Battle for Bikini Bottom, the final boss is actually a platforming segment, which I think is just awesome for a platforming game to have that as its final level. It's a really cool way to finish it off.
All right.
And there it is.
127.06. That's only 4 minutes off your PB, right? That's really good.
Yeah, 4 minutes and 1 second. Or no,
Nice,
4
dude.
minutes. No, 3:59 actually. That's what it is. Yeah, that was actually a really good run.
Yeah.
Considering
GG.
that I went for a lot of like YOLO things that lost me a good amount of time, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you did GCC, the original one, and like CCE and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, the bowl boosting rooftops too.
Yeah, that
You can
too.
smash PB.
I know. I know. Well, I mean, thank you to GSA for giving us the opportunity to show off our game once again. You guys always come through for us, so you know we really
Thank you.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
GSA is one of our biggest supporters in this community. Also, I want to say personally, thank you, Jared, for taking up this run on such short notice. I really appreciate
Absolutely,
that,
dude.
man.
Thank you for letting me do it. It's always an honor playing this game, man. And I guess, I don't know. Important announcement is be ready for news on part 2 of the history coming out next month. So
Sooner
know?
than you think.
pay attention on Twitter and stuff. You'll see some information dropping about that, I would assume, pretty soon. So, yeah, I mean, besides that, we got Rehydrated coming out next month. We got a lot of good stuff for this game, so it's a good time to get into BFBB speedrunning, watching and playing. There's a tutorial that you can look at that Shift just recently uploaded earlier this year. Definitely check that out as well. So, yeah, I mean, if there's anything else you guys have to say.
I remind you all that there are still robots out there making a mess of Bikini
Stream Not Afraid by Eminem.
Yeah, do that.
Leave a like.
Leave a like.
All right, I think we're just about done.
Yeah, I think we're
Thanks for
done.
watching our game, guys. Means a lot to us. Every time.
Yes, thank you guys. For the support, we appreciate